my flipping god. I'm so not looking forward to doing this final world in the whole entire game. But regardless of everything else though, we're now on to the end game of this game, and then hopefully we would move on to the next game throughout the forms of the Let's Play department. Specifically Super Monkey Ball Deluxe Redo Let's Play, and even Super Monkey Ball Jr. and all that stuff. So, hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Deafy Duck here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Mercy Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll for the Nintendo Wii. So, last time we have managed to go through the forms of World 6, which is Magma Valley, and I did have a pretty flawless time on this particular world, unlike the forms of Polo Festival, because, well, I don't have as many issues with that particular world, despite with the actual music itself, it's alright. I mean, not one of the best music is usually been heard of, but nothing compares to, for today's video, is that here we go with the final world in the game in Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll, which is Siliconia, which perhaps is one of the most, in my honest opinion, one of the worst final levels in whole entirety of the Super Monkey Ball games, at least in my opinion, because, well, we'll jump right in as soon as we're able to dive right in, and of course this is the last time we're going to be seeing Gem's interactions before you start the actual, the worlds themselves. So, here we go, on to slow rotation, and right off the bat, we start things off with the very slow, very boring level at best. Well, I say not the best, but to be more specifically, one of the slowest level in the game. Not only because it's hard or anything, but rather just because it's rather boring compared to the forms of the most other stages in this game offers us too. Even especially noticeable in Journey forms of the future games and beyond. So even then, or even the past games as a result, don't forget. So, as a result, on the other hand though, as you can clearly see on screen, I'm going to be selecting II for the final world in this game. To unlock this particular world, I'm pretty sure that you need to be able to access this world by completing all 6 main worlds without using a single continue, which it might be seems pretty easy, but then again, the bad thing about this game is the fact that the level design in this game is downright despicably, well, off-putting, especially because, you know, with the too many objects on screen, this means you have to cope with those specific stuff. So as a result, let's just say, for example, in the third stage in this world that we'll get into in just a moment, but for now on though, we'll just go ahead and just go through those little wormholes, as you can see on screen. And also I found the music is so unmemorable to listen to, like, it just, well, as soon as we get into the third stage and later on throughout, but either way though, we'll just have to keep our speed going and stuff like that if we, hopefully God forbid, trying to make it for this point. But again, with too many objects on screen, this means it's very so stupid to be able to compensate on. So, yeah, you normally can't do it just like that, but rather you need to go over there and then get a speed going, and then that way you can instantly get into the actual goal that way. So either way, it takes a bit of practice, but oh god, this music in complex stage, oh god, it's extremely repetitive, and most of the time it's way too short, and because of that it loops about 5 times per minute, which as a result, it's all reputation. So even then, unless if you're trying to play this on the Wii balance board, good luck with that by the way, because otherwise you will die a lot in this entire world, and as a result, it will be life strainers to top it off as well. Specifically, the worst offender of this world is Wormhole Jumper. Oh, for the love of God. I can't tell you how do I begin with the forms of this stupid stage as a result. Because, well, first of all, you need to get a lot of users on these switches. And depending on how good the angle is with that specific jump, most of the time that if you manage to get a little bit fall off of that jump, well, it's just kind of luck-based most of the time, and also too many emphasis on blockage, which as a result, it comes off as really out of place, and also as a result, although you can use co-op until you're able to make things a little bit easier for yourself, but unfortunately for single-player experience, you have to deal with all that specific stuff, and as a result, it just comes across as like, well, pace breaking most of the time. And also as a result, there's going to be a lot of death situations, such as the forms of this stupid well-placed blocks, as you can see right there. And as a result, I think I ended up getting stuck. So as a result, there goes my time over. So screw you, placed blocks. And I just wish you never exist in any forms of the future Monkey Ball games ever again. At least thankfully in Super Monkey Ball 3D did manage to able to remove that feature, as well as Super Monkey Ball Banana Splits, despite with the forms of nerve-wracking difficulty aside, because, you know, you have to deal with the environmental objects and stuff like that for that nature. But for this, well, again, sometimes it might be felt a little bit too easy, but most of the time it can get outright annoying, especially because, then again, with too many objects on screen means that too many cubes out of your way, and as a result, it can result in catastrophe and stuff like that, which as a result, it's just annoying, because otherwise then, you know, you just have to cope with that stuff if you're trying to play this with the Wii Remote on its own. So, either way though, you just have to cope with it. So, also, as I said before, the music is so annoying, because it loops about 5 times per minute, as I said before, and then sometimes it just gets a little bit more repetition and stuff like that. Like, I kinda just wish it has a lot more instrument variety, or even just anything like that. I understand because this takes place in a space-themed kind of level, just like the forms of Space Case in, you know, Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz and stuff like that, and even World 5 and Banana Splits as well, and even, I would say Space, Factory in 3D, but, apart from everything else though, I'm just not a big fan of this world, and as a result, this is easily the worst final levels in any other Monkey Ball games, at least to my experience anyway, along with everything in, you know, Monkey Ball Adventure, and as a result. Because whenever I mastered the first time I played this game, I just got rage quit on that specific, stupid world like this. And as a result, the worst stage out of this, though, to me, though, is this abomination of this stage, as you can tell right here. Because you can't really tell if you're gonna make your jump or what have you, because as a result, you only have one specific time to get this right. It's just do the actual timing switch thing, basically, or the actual emphasis on this, and screw you, stupid cubes. This stage is gonna be life's drainers, and let's not forget to mention about the next stage coming up. Well, not so much on the next few stages, luckily, but still, it's just downright annoying and frustration at the same time, because you have to get a lot of adjustments, and as a result, if you're trying to angle this thing at the correct moment, you have to cover that stuff, because otherwise, if you get a game over, that means you have to go for the entire world all over again, complete with the forms of tedium, and especially noticeable with the repetitive music I've ever heard in a Monkey Ball game, and as a result of that kinds of stuff though, it's just, I just can't stand this world. But luckily though, as you can see, I finally managed to pass this abomination of this stage, and as a result, we're about to move on to, let's just say, the final bonus stage in the game, which appears to be Banana Wave. So thankfully, this stage is not that bad, so especially noticeable, you have to get your adjustment to the actual angle, and then again though, despite with the forms of the cube placements can be very out of place. In fact, I remember back in the day actually, despite the actual, the original Let's Play of this game is no longer there, but originally that back then, that we did manage to get ourselves our rage quit on the final stage in the game, probably because, well, we'll discuss more about it until later on, because for now, I just need to able to get some more extra lives before everything else go insanely bad, as it sounds. So anyways, this will be the last time we're going to be seeing the bonus stages in this game, as I said before, until we're able to meet them again until Super Monkey Ball 3D came around. So anyways, so next up right here, this level's kind of cool though, but then again, it's just these terrible block placements, which as a result, yeah, that will be the only major part about this particular stage. This gives me rage quit, and that is the forms of not only for distracting repetitive music I find, and also due to the forms of terribly placed blocks, as you can clearly see on screen. So as a result, yeah, this is the part that you should probably bring your co-op player with you, because you can have yourselves an easier time with. So that's how it goes basically. So Yeah, a few things we want to explain about this at this point today is the fact that today's day is the forms of the 17th of February today in 2020. So as a result, though, not much else has been going on for this point, apart from the fact that recently, that although I'll explain more about it, or let's just say we'll let Piglet will mention about that until when he gets back onto Yoshi's Woolly World, or no, Yoshi's Crafted World I should say. I keep thinking of Yoshi's Woolly World for some reason because that was the game we did manage to tackle through since 2019 as a result due to the celebration for Yoshi's Crafted World's released. So yeah, I just want to classify that. Oh boy, this level right there is probably the most annoying level in this entire game. It's incredibly long, so much longer than the previous stages as a result. And, it's all slow-paced, which I really hate. And you have these stupid, momentum issues when you're trying to able to go into another set of paths. Like, you have to cope with a lot of trial and errors and stuff like that. And also, then again, as I mentioned about this before, dozens and dozens about, a whole bunch of times. This means that we have to do with a lot of worse block placements, which as a result, it's so aggravating, but I digress. But it really doesn't help about the fact that if you're trying to deal with the Wii balance board, you will die a lot, as you can probably guys can clearly tell. But either way though, still, it's just, I just hate this world so much. Easily the worst final level or the worst final world in any of the Monkey Ball games in my opinion. Yeah, I did play Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz in Ultra Heavens, World 10-5, probably the most annoying luck-based level in the whole entire series, along with the HD remastered version, and especially noticeable with the forms of the majority of the worlds, well, specifically the story mode in Super Monkey Ball Adventure. So as a result, yeah, it's just... I'm just not a big fan of this world, honestly. Easily the worst world in this entire game, even for my, honestly, God forbid, one of the worst final worlds in any of the Super Monkey Ball games I've ever played, because, well, this level is far too slow, and also as a result, if you really try to keep things up, especially noticeable with how it doesn't help that your momentum keeps screwing it up, I think it might be something to do with the timing aspect with this particular level. And as a result of that kinds of stuff though, this is by far one of the hardest levels in the game, because as a result, if you mess up one of those timing aspects, as you can clearly tell, you're gonna have to go through all that tedium slots all over again. It also might actually also waste your time as well. I kinda wish there was like a fast forward switch so that we can able to get this stage over with. But no, we have to cope with the forms of slow movement with that specific, you know, the stupid stage like this. So yeah, you have to cope with that stuff unless if you want to continue progression. So as a result, it's just tedious. It's just way filled tedious. But luckily, until whenever we get to the next stage after this very slow level, at least we can able to get ourselves a little bit more moving and stuff like that. At least in this the second part, as you can see right there, it doesn't take that long. And by the way, you know what that announcer keep on saying, 10 seconds or something like that? I think we're gonna expect to hear that multiple times in this world. So as a result, like for instance, for example, if you're first time playing through this world in compact level, oh my god, you're gonna have to come across into that a lot of times with 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, over and over and over and over again. And oh, it's just downright frustrating, which as a result, yeah, easily the worst part about this game for me, which is kind of sad honestly, because it looks like the forms of a classic turn to form, but unfortunately, due to the forms of the lack of challenge difficulty, probably because of how the fact that you have to do with a lot of, you know, guardrails as a result. Also, the stages themselves can be somewhat wider. At least in this stage is pretty fun though, because you can able to go from slide to slide within those different parts throughout. Okay, so we got 2 stages left, so this might be the next stage we need to come across. So let's just go ahead and just get a nice little running start, so that way we could able to not only just manage to able to get ourselves a whole bunch of bananas, but also as a result we get ourselves the extra life back after several deaths on that stupid, you know, rolling roll kind of stage, you know, with the forms of that slow speed and stuff like that. Oh jeez. and the music really doesn't help me at all because it just feels like easily the weakest soundtrack in the entire Super Monkey Ball series, in my honest opinion, because it's repetitive and also it doesn't have that much variety going on. At least I'll give Extravaganza inside that it does manage to fit some of those varieties on them, including Far East. But as a result of that specific stuff, no matter what though, I think it just goes like my brain is somewhat dead at this rate. So anyways, let's go ahead and just carefully navigate with that very, very specific edge of that specific stupid blocks placement and all that stuff. But frankly, this is the final world that gets a lot of emphasis on this, thank God. So either way, on to the final stage in Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll in the entire game, Snaky Solid. So as a result, this is the stage I managed to go myself rage quit during the forms of the original Let's Play of this game, but again, it's no longer there. Just because of how the fact that with the terrible sound mixing issues, as well as, okay quality and all that stuff, I'm sure many people already know what I'm talking about here, but then again though, with the terrible placements, like these stupid rocket placements just keeps blocking out of nowhere. And here's the gimmick with this stage. Basically, you need to go through the magical mirror, which as you can delve for this point, and then you need to go all the way from here, and try to, God forbid, try to able to get a good angle as possible, because if you get the wrong angle, this means you automatically lose until you're able to realize that you need to able to figure out the different angle to it. So as a result, yeah, it's nowhere near as annoying as the forms of that 7th stage, or even don't get me started on the 4th stage, but still, it might give you a lot of practice if you manage to get the hang of it though. Unless if you're trying to go after a whole bunch of bunches, you would be alright with it, but for me, I'm always attempting to go for as safest path as possible, because as a result, yeah, I just can't stand that world. So as a result, yeah, that's all I can say about it. And stupid block placements like this, and let's just hopefully we can make it, and there we go. God, that stage is over and done with. And also, not only that, this entire world is, thank God, done. I can't stand that world so much. But I digress. So, and I think this will actually lead us to the final staff credit sequence in this entire game. And in this time around, we have some sort of a weird pronunciation right here. I do apologize for that. And Mimi Mav at Here Future, which is performed by Yelia, which again, it's alright. I mean, it's not the best music I've ever heard in a Monkey Ball game, but I digress. And this is the final time we're going to be doing with a tilting table staff credit sequence, because this time, the actual yellow sections, as you can see right there, just managed to get ourselves a little bit of an opening sections noticing for it, but naturally there are about 3 holes in total, but one of them is automatically open and switch it to another, and then basically the tilted table is just basically a circle. So yeah, let's give, yeah, that's as far as we can able to think about with this world. I actually honestly hate it. And then I think it's a probably perfect I think it's about time to able to give my final thoughts of Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll, for the Nintendo Wii game anyway. Overall, it's not bad, but this is certainly one of my second least favorite Super Monkey Ball games I've ever played, along with the forms of my least favorite game in the series is of course Super Monkey Ball Adventure, because of the forms of terrible, questionable design choices and all that stuff. But at least the worlds themselves, variety is kind of cool. I mean, except for the 7th and the final world, because of the forms of, well, just anything else I said, as I said this countless amount of times for the sake of this video. And, the music is okay. I mean, nothing outstanding, because of the forms of that 7th and the final world's music I can't stand the most. But every single music piece is pretty good. And also, the level themes, as I said before, is pretty cool looking. And even the forms of the party games does make a return, but it somewhat feels a little bit downgraded compared to the forms of Banana Blitz this time around, because they have like 21 party games and stuff like that, which is okay. I mean, you actually couldn't think about it. The graphics still look pretty much identical to Banana Blitz, as you probably clearly tell for that point, which I don't mind about it too much, but everything else is pretty much left untouched, like the models and stuff like that. And even the controls does feel quite good, considering how the fact that the actual jump button is no longer to be found around here. So as a result, yeah, as far as I can say about it. And again, I just found the level design in this game is easily the worst aspect about this game, and I think the level design in this game is not that fun in my opinion, because of, you know, too many emphasis on blocks placement just loves to get in your way, and as a result, the levels themselves might go a little bit far too long, and especially don't get me started with the forms of these very unpredictable, well, block placements just like to knock you off, and also, was it really necessary to have the insane amount of those guardrails and stuff like that? Well, from some levels exceptions, but I totally understand why they did manage to ruin the challenge for a moment, but I digress. So yeah, overall, it's an alright game. Still is my second least favorite game in the series, which I'm sure enough that most people seem to able to agree with me on that part, but even then, just prefer the old school Monkey Ball games from the past, including Monkey Ball 1, 2, and Deluxe, if you want to able to play those over this is. But I digress. It's an alright game, but then again though, it's hard to recommend it for those if you really enjoy that sort of thing, but I digress though. So yeah, that concludes our Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. Hope you guys are able to enjoy this Let's Play, or this particular redo Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. I enjoyed it for a little bit in the first few worlds, but the rest of them is just like, goes completely downhill and stuff like that. So yeah, as a result, that's why I can really talk about that specific point. So, yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy it, and join us next time for more of the Super Monkey Ball Let's Plays department. It could be Super Monkey Ball 3D or Super Monkey Ball Deluxe for the Xbox, but for me, we'll probably go for Super Monkey Ball Deluxe on the Xbox as it is. So yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy it. This is me, Duffy Duck here, from the likes of the Muxy Toys, and until then, I am out, and, well, we'll leave that final world for the worst. So, anyway, see you guys then. Bye.